Hello and welcome back to Sard's Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big up to everybody is tuned in nice and early. Big up to everybody is watching on the replay. Make sure you smash the like buttons. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time we go live. Sorry for the lateness. But lateness is greatness. Big up to us. But I am joined today for the rivals preview. Arsenal versus Manchester United, the real derby, the real rivalry. This is the old school rivalry. We're not talking about some little city pool thing, bro. This is it's life and death, bro, out here, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's life and death on that pitch, bro. You know what I mean? You better beat each other, bro. But I am joined by none other than the made man himself. You've seen him everywhere, man. Man like Schick from Schick TV. Guys, in the description. His channel is in the description. So please go over there and subscribe. Let's get him to what you on now?
I'm on a road to 1K. I'm on road to 1K.
Road to
I
1K,
just
guys.
got past 500. Yeah.
Please, guys, let's get him to 1K. If you're watching on a replay or you're watching this right now live, just quickly click on the link below in the description and it will take you straight to his channel where you can go and subscribe to him, of course. But Sheik, how you doing, my broski? How's it going, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm absolutely I wouldn't say over the moon, but I've been better than I was a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, we did a show a couple of weeks ago with Ruben
Yeah.
Amorim, and you could have seen my excitement on that show. I've been absolutely happy, man. This weekend specifically, we had never scored 4 goals in a Premier League game under Eric Ten Hag, and we did that in one home game with Ruben Amorim. So that itself should tell you how far coaching can go. Not sure what happened to Saad, but yeah, I'm just gonna continue talking a little bit. I'm happy though. Players are some certain players are starting to gel well with the system. Some of them are still taking their time, which I think it'll all just kind of like come to it by itself. Oh, looks like it's just me on this screen. Big up to Sarida as well in the chat. And yeah, you guys obviously make sure you guys run up the likes and stuff for Saad, man. I gotta get his channel growing. Obviously, I'm super honored to be on here every single time. But yeah, you guys definitely run up the likes and subscribe to Saad as well, man. Top content creator. There we go. He's back.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. I don't know what, bro. My thing, you started speaking, and then my
Yeah,
thing just went
I
completely
saw. I
black.
just went, yeah, and they just
Bro, I was
disappeared.
like, yo, what's going on, man? You know what I mean? The internet got me, bro. The people got me, man. But big up to you, my bro. Thank you very much for joining us today, man. Obviously, listen, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna speak about it. So, guys, make sure to smash the like buttons. Make sure you're subscribing, yeah, because we're gonna start speaking about the game. We're gonna start speaking about starting 11s. We're gonna be doing starting 11s, combined 11s, of course, which Schick wasn't looking too
I,
forward to.
I'm still not. Like, I'm still trying to think who I can shamelessly put in there. But as the video goes, I will have some names at the end, so we'll see. It's good to
Yeah.
save that for the end.
Yeah, exactly. I can maybe allow one, and that's probably my Moroccan brother Mazraoui, but that's about it, bro.
I was actually thinking of him too. I was thinking of him. I was
Because
thinking of
he's
him.
actually been crazy, man.
Yeah,
I can't
such a
wait
baller.
for the AFCON, man. Oh,
Hey,
mate.
12 million. Such a bargain. Hey, Bayern Munich, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man.
By the way, it's gonna be interesting to see how you lot deal without him in January, isn't it?
That's
I think
true.
it's in January when
Yeah.
AFCON is. So it's gonna be interesting to see how you guys deal without him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, guys, big up to everybody. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Right, Schick. Let's get down to the first topic of conversation.
Let's go.
Arteta, Amorim. Let's speak about Amorim first. And how are you finding it watching Amorim? I know you in backstage you were telling me like this, and I'm just
Yeah.
gassed. I'm excited and stuff like that. So, how are you feeling with Amorim? You've watched 3 games now, I believe. It was the Ipswich game, then you had the
Photo
Bodo
Glim.
Glimp,
Yeah.
and then now you've just seen your team decimate. And I say I
Everton.
mean
Yeah.
decimate Everton, bro. Like it was sacrificial settings, bro.
No,
So
facts.
how are you feeling with Amorim, man, coming into the squad?
Yeah. Honestly, like, best way to put it is it's just a breath of fresh air. This team lacked basics. This team lacked any type of tactics, structure, system, any of that. You guys have all seen it, like rival fans, United fans. We've seen it for the past 3 years that we had no identity, none of that. And then from minute one, from game one for Ruben Amorim, he starts to get the things right. Even though our first game under him wasn't a win, I still saw a lot in terms of positivity from our team, and a lot of differences also just from Ten Hag's United from just one game. Um, to give you guys an example, if we talk about this Everton game real quick, 2 goals that Amad Diallo, who I think was already one of our better players in our team going forward, now is proving it defensively too. He's actually been putting a shift as a wing back. This guy got created 2 goals for him, like 2 goals for our team by just a high press. And that's as simple as it was. So that's one player who's kind of gelling with the system right away. And it's just a matter of time, honestly, where more players do also start getting more familiar with the system. But just to talk about this system, very good. Like I've seen us move the ball in certain ways that like I said, I hadn't seen in the past 3 years. We never scored 4 goals in a home game, or let alone in a Premier League game under Eric Ten Hag, and won by 4 goals to 0. So that's already just one massive, massive improvement. I don't owe goals from last season. I had a negative goal difference of 3. I don't owe goals last season anymore. I don't even owe goals this season. This guy came in and he already got our goal difference as +4. So it's like I'm 100% happy. Like I said, I've just come out of jail. I'm free. I'm seeing good football. Like I'm actually seeing progressive attacking football. I'm seeing them keep their shape with and without the ball. It's not like he changed anything for Bodo Glimt or for Everton. You saw the players pretty much doing the same exact thing, which I love, because that's one big problem we had under Eric Ten Hag, where one game they're doing something, the second game, another game they're doing something else. And I get it. It's like sometimes you want to set up teams based off of the opponent. Like you want to set up your squad based off of the opponent that you're playing. But how are you going to set up your squad against Ipswich away, or like these type of teams, or like Bournemouth at home last season when we lost like 3-0? Like what are you going to, like, what was it that he was thinking in terms of tactics to set up this squad against this team? And we've seen that Xerxes Hoyland, who hadn't had the best starts of this season so far, just bagged 2 goals in 2 games under Ruben Amorim. So he's starting to bring out, I would hope so, he's starting to get the best out of some players, which is good, and early as well. I thought this would take some time, to be fair. Amad Diallo has cemented that position for himself, that wingback position. There's nobody else who could really like try to argue him against it in terms of getting that spot. So he's got that right away. Our attackers, and in terms of quality, that's just what you're going to get. I have no issue with tactics, system, none of that. My only issue is players' application and their execution. Are these players good enough to execute what Ruben Amorim is going to require them and ask them to do throughout the rest of the season? That's just what we're going to find out. But I'm at this point where if certain players are not good enough in the system, cool, move them on. Go get better players in the summer, because the summer is going to be very, very important. And try to do as much as you can with these players right now, because if you're a great manager like everyone else is telling you to be, and all these things that we've heard about you, even myself as a United fan, I want to see those qualities in you. And when I say that, I mean I want to see you be able to get over the line, not have excuses of injuries and stuff like that. You picked this job in the middle of a season at Sporting, where, by the way, you were second in the Champions League unbeaten. You were in Sporting unbeaten. You were on course to win your 3rd league title, but you chose this job, and I simply refuse to believe that it's just because of the money. Like it's a headache. We know what this job is. It's been one of the most toughest jobs since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired. No manager really, and we've gone through Mourinho, Van Gaal, all these different managers have really, really been successful here so far. So he knows what he signed up for. And with that being said, he's here, and I still expect him to make those, like, I still expect him to be, in a sense, successful in this season. I'm not going to just sit here and be like, oh yeah, I don't care what Ruben Amorim does this season, it's not his players then and that. No, I still think, like, considering our Carabao Cup run and our FA Cup run, we actually play you guys in the FA Cup, which we found out yesterday or 2 days ago.
We're going to speak about that. We're going to speak about that as well.
And then Carabao Cup, we play Tottenham. So it's like we could potentially be out of 2 domestic competitions just with these 2 fixtures, Spurs away and Arsenal away. And I would be pissed, because I want us to be in these domestic competitions. I want us to have a favorable run if we can, and try to see us in the latter stages of this tournament. And the reason why I say that is because, as much as I didn't rate Ten Hag and his tactics, he won us 2 trophies in our most worst period. So it tells me that these players are so capable of winning domestic trophies. So he should be able to. He should be looking to do that. Obviously, objectives probably is. I actually don't know what his objective really is this season. I don't know what Ineos have told him to do or what they want him to achieve by the end of this season. Top four is, mind you, like it's a very, very big reach. I don't think our team, Ruben Amorim doesn't change the quality of our team. These players are still not good enough. And when I stack them up against different squads in the league, I just don't think that we'll be able to make
Yeah.
top four. Top six and top seven's a reach. Domestic trophy, if we get a favorable one, we might do something. Europa League, we should try to win because I think that's
Mm.
probably our easiest way of getting into the Champions League next year. Considering I don't think we'll compete for top four, but that's what we really have. And then
Mm.
summer comes. Summer is when I hope Ineos back him. And that's where he really goes out and makes his team his own. Like we've seen Ten Hag do that. Ten Hag made his own signings and he made this team his own and he had full control. Summer is where I look for Amarin to get full control of this team and make those signings,
Mm.
and hopefully Ineos back him, and we go from there. So we'll see.
Yeah,
But
I had.
I'm overall happy though. I'm overall happy,
Mm.
happy with what I've seen so far. I have no
Mm.
complaints. Yeah,
You know what, Shik? You always have like a very like not. I don't want to say it like in a way where it sounds rude. I want to say a resting bitch face, but that kind of face, bro. Just like you're so calm and you're just so
yeah.
composed, and you're just like I've never seen you like fully screaming like yeah this that I'm enjoying.
Hey, bro, watch
Right,
my
you're
so
very
like
calm down. You know what I
you
mean?
could have
So
seen me from some of my streams last year. Coventry City FA Cup semifinal. I was livid, absolutely
ah
livid. Bournemouth away last year. There's so many games, bro. The last year where I was just like, I can't even remember them and think of shout out to Igal every single time, but I can't
yeah.
even remember and think of. I've
Mm.
lost count of how many games I just lost my head, bro. There was a point. It came to a point, Saad, where, and you'll know this best, where I didn't even feel like getting up for streams and doing streams under Ten Hag because it would
Yeah.
just be the same thing that I would say again and again. Like, hey guys, welcome to another Manchester United match reaction. We are shit. We didn't do this. Our players can't
The same
score. We are
thing.
shit. We are shit. We are shit. It would just be that every single match
Mate,
reaction. And
I
it's like,
feel
bro,
for you, man.
sometimes when I'm from Cali and we were talking about this too, our time differences are crazy. It's currently 11 p.m. for you. It's 3 p.m. right now. So sometimes early kickoffs would be like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yeah,
You really think I
man,
would want to
it's
wake up
crazy,
at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to watch Ten Hog ball and just see
bro.
the same thing again and again? I refuse to do it. And it came to a
You,
point where I stopped, bro. I really did. I
you,
stopped.
you're. Listen, you're a trooper. Anybody who lives on the west coast is a trooper, bro. Because that's crazy. But listen, big up Miguel, by the way, for the raid. Big up to everybody who has joined from Miguel. Talks football, of course. Big up to Miguel, man. Thank you very much for the raid, my broski. You know it's all love, man. Big up to you, my bro. Um, Obviously we're going to be here for a while because we're going to be speaking about Manchester United. Listen, you're up for chilling here. You ain't got. You said you ain't got much to do right now. You're
Yeah,
chilling. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
man.
Just
I could
come
be here for
home from
hours.
work,
Yeah, no worries.
vibe in. So, listen, guys, make sure you're smashing that like button for me, please. If you get here, just make sure you're smashing that like button for me. You know, we hit 2K. I'm trying to get to 3K now. So the more subscribers I can get, the better it is. The more we can build this community. You know, we're trying to get to 3K, guys. So make sure to get that done for me, people, every single time. And if for any foreign fans, I listen, we gotta applaud them, and I applaud every single foreign fan, bro, because these motherfuckers get up at 4 a.m., bro. And when your team is shit, to get up at 4 a.m., yeah, for you to have the mental like capacity to like motivate yourself to get up, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Because I've never had to actually no, I did that when when we were playing in America, yeah. Bro, that was the worst time of my life, bro. There in the middle of the night like this, bro, just
Yeah,
watching our
no, I know,
play, bro.
bro.
I'm just like, I'm falling asleep on stream, bro. Do you know what I mean? So it was definitely a crazy one. But listen, big up to everybody who is tuned in. Big up to all the foreign fans, man. Absolute legends. Um, in the stream. By the way, I'm actually looking to get tickets for tomorrow, man. I'm gonna try my luck.
Hey, yeah,
Sky, man.
definitely. Good luck to you,
I'm
man.
gonna
Hopefully you
I'm
do.
gonna look, guys. If I do go to the Man United game, guys, I will be doing a vlog, man. I'll do a vlog
There
just
you
so I
go.
can show everybody. For anybody who hasn't been to the Emirates, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get there like really early, and then I'm just gonna show you around, show you the pub, show you everything. So if I can get tickets, I'll do like literally a stadium tour to show all of the Arsenal fans that can't make it. Hey, go DM me, bro. Go DM me, or I'll message you. I'll message you to let you know if you can get me some. But yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting one, man. Hopefully I can go out there and see it myself.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be fire.
but yeah, listen, it's gonna be fire, man. It's gonna be fire. But listen, make sure you smash the like buttons. Make sure you're subscribing. Now back to the football. Obviously, I know what you were speaking about Amorim, and listen, I agree, man. I think since he's coming, you can see straight away just the intensity, the press that he brings with his style of football, with his system, the amount of press that these players have to do to keep the opposition team on their toes is mad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
bro.
mad, bro. So for me, I look at it like this, yeah, where I'm looking at the team. He's obviously got these guys. He's obviously come in and been able to say to them like, listen, the levels that you guys have been playing at are not good enough. We need to improve that. And you can see that some of the players, I mean, Rashford has definitely upped his game a little bit.
Yeah,
Not don't know what that's gonna say for the rest of his future at Manchester United, but of course, like people ain't really gonna go. Yeah, I got one to go. Um, but people are really gonna sit here and say, he's done this and that. Which, to be honest, I kind of agree with. I think his time at Man United is done. Maybe he's not done as a player, but I feel like sometimes at a club, bro, it goes stale, bro.
yeah,
It's like the thing's expired now, bro. You need to move on to pastures new, which basically means for anybody who doesn't know what pastures new mean, it means to the on your new thing, basically. Um, but he needs to move to something new, bro. He needs a new club, new surroundings. Do you know what I mean? New goals, that kind of stuff. So for me, I look at this situation where he's definitely got some of these players playing out their skin right now, but there's definitely going to have to be a evaluation done at the end of the season for him to say, okay, some of these players are not really. I'm not really digging in the system. I think I can improve on them, and we might be able to scope out in the market and be able to get somebody that can come in, improve on the Man United front in
right.
regards to getting the players that suit that system and also have the particular skills to reach the level that you guys really want to achieve. Because let's face it, Amorim is really about doing good in the league.
Yeah,
He's a very good league manager, and he's good in cups. So it definitely needs to show how he's going to replicate that, or how he's going to move that from the Portuguese league and then bring it to here. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? The only difference is he's actually taken over one of the biggest clubs in England. So
yeah,
that's the difference. When he took over Sporting are not one of the biggest clubs in England. They're like the third big, well, they're third or fourth, I think, or something like that. It's
yeah.
normally it's Benfica and Porto. You know what I
Porto.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
definitely, it's good. We're gonna see him now working under bright lights, bro, because the lights are bright. When you're at the biggest clubs, everything you do is documented. Everything you do is commented on. Everything. And that even shows when he came to the club, he was like, "Oh, I've done more interviews. Um, I've done more interviews here in the last 2 weeks or whatever it was than he
yeah.
done in the whole of his 4 years at Sporting." So it just shows like
Yeah, yeah,
people
and
are.
I think he knows as well is that like he understands the magnitude of a job like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure he watched because obviously depending on when we started talks with him, whether this was before the decision to sack Ten Hag or whether this was like immediately after the decision to sack Ten Hag. I'm sure we've been in talks with him, so I'm sure he's been watching our games as well. And it's this thing where he kind of I'm sure he knows this whole situation. One thing I really actually like about him, which we'll get into right
Mm,
now, is I like really the way that he talks and explains things before games and after games.
mm,
Reason why I say that is because right after the Ipswich game, he actually broke down every single thing. He indirectly called out Bruno I don't exactly like, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what the words were, but he was basically saying how he doesn't like how Bruno, whenever Bruno gets the ball, he just hoofs it. He basically said that. He was saying that we want to basically try to create a team where if set player receives the ball here, they're not just looking to hoof it. They're trying to, like, build things around.
Mm.
And when asked about Xerxes, he just was just straightforward and said Xerxes needs to be in the box more. When they asked him about Xerxes and his input so far in this season and how his career's been at United so far under these games, he said, "Yeah, he's a great player, but he just needs to be in the box more, and he needs to be more like there in terms of positioning." And then he says that you see Xerxes gets 2 goals this weekend, both from good positioning, even though they were tap-ins, but both were from good positioning. And even bar that, he actually helped out a lot in terms of our play too. So he's very, like, again, I say this because some fan bases, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Man City fans, might just be like, "Oh, like Amorim, whatever Amorim is doing is the basic stuff. There's nothing crazy." This is why I'll tell you guys is that yes, it is basic stuff, but I have been robbed of basics for the past 3 years. Only thing my ex-manager told me these past 3 years was stick to the plan, and that I don't see the bigger picture. Never explained to me what the bigger picture was, never told me what the plan was, never told me any of those things. So the fact that now I'm actually getting a manager who, if I ask him a
Mm.
direct question, Ruben Amorim, why weren't we able to stick 5 passes together? I'm sure he will give me a clear answer to it and a reasoning behind it, rather than a manager just saying, "Oh, well, we won 2 trophies in 2 years. That explains everything to you." So
Mm.
just stuff like that. He's very intricate. He's very, like, precise, and he's very particular on the things that he says. But what all that just kind of shows me is that he's all about this. Like, he really, really hopes and believes that this thing will work out, and he's fully towards it. The only one thing that I don't want to see from Ruben Amorim is when things start to get tough, and trust me, they will start to get tough. There might be a time in this season where we might lose 2 or 3 in a row, and pressure is starting to pile, and he has a decision to make. I just don't want that decision to be you completely disregarding every single thing that we've signed you for. That means you changing the system, you changing everything just so that you're trying to save your job or cater to these players. That's not what I want you to do. That's what the old manager did, and that's why he doesn't have a job anymore. I want
Mm.
you to stick to your principles. If the Ruben Amorim era doesn't work out at Manchester United, it should just be because of Ruben Amorim, not because of all these other things that you tried something else out and it didn't work and all of that type of stuff. And if it turns out that Ruben Amorim is not the manager, cool. We rinse and repeat. We go find out the other manager who's going to take us over the line. That's just how life works, and that's just how this business and this
Mm.
sport works. So I hope and I pray and I will back him up until I see signs that would push me not to back him, but I will back him until that. And here we go, man. Let's see. We're in a new era right now. Ruben Amorim is officially
Yeah.
now here. Ineos, this is Ineos's guy. This is who they've decided to put forward as their first person, their first manager. So I hope to see that they,
Mm.
and I hope all these things do come true. And who knows, man? We'll see. We'll see where we're at. Where we are at a year from now, into this time into the season, and we'll see. We'll see what difference it makes.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%, and obviously go into a bit of tactical analysis, if you want to say. We can go to a bit of tactical analysis there. Just speaking on, obviously, the managers and, systems coming up against each other. I said this on Dan Potts' channel when I was just on there, but big up Dan.
yeah, big up to Dan.
And I said on his channel, like, we've already seen Arteta come up against a an Amorim system,
Yeah,
and he completely dominated. Now, a lot of people will say, "Oh, but Amorim wasn't there." This is what I have with the problem of people saying that you came up against a team without Amorim. Yes, he might have made slight changes and stuff, but the overall basis is that's his system.
yeah,
They're just carrying it on. So
right.
Arteta's shown that his system can work effectively against an Amorim system. Now, the only problem that we have as Arsenal fans is that Amorim was probably also watching that game. So Amorim now knows how we're going to try and tackle the game, how we're going to try and approach the game, because he was watching that. And that was the
Yeah,
perfect entry viewing for him to see what Arteta's really going to bring to the table. So I can
yeah,
imagine Arteta will try and change things about from how we approach the sporting game, just
yeah,
because Amorim will be able to stop it, cut the channels on the wing. Do you know what I mean? Get more men on the wing, and cancel out the players like Saka, like Erdegaard. You know what I mean? So if we do it the same way, I think we definitely need to come up with a different game plan. In my personal opinion, I definitely use the overlapping a bit more with the fullbacks, but
yeah,
try go down the middle as well, but we rarely ever go down the middle, man. We rarely ever go down the middle. It's always the wings that we're using. So I don't really see how Arteta's going to be able to, but I'm sure that he's going to change that about, because he's not going to approach it the same way. But we've seen it happen,
yeah.
and obviously with Amorim and Arteta, they already have history in the Europa League when they came up against each other. We all remember Ramsdale getting chipped from the halfway line. So they already have history, and it's already like 1-0 Amorim against Arteta. But I still think it's going to be interesting though, because Arteta's grown a lot since then, as a tactician, as a manager.
True.
Um, so it's not going to be the same Arteta who's naive as he was in that game. Obviously, in that game as well, we lost Saliba and lost Tomiyasu in the same game. But how are you thinking about what are your thoughts on Arteta coming up against Amorim,
Yeah.
and how their play styles could go up against each other, and who do you think could get the better out of this one?
Yeah, so first off, this whole if United fans are saying this whole thing of Ruben Amorim 1-0 up against Arteta, just forget about it, because they like to waffle about things that don't even matter. First of all, Ruben Amorim beat Arteta in the Europa League on penalties. It wasn't even a clear win, so it's not like he like got a set in stone win at the Emirates, because it was penalties, right? It wasn't like a clear,
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't
Martinelli
like.
missed.
Exactly. So it was penalties. It was basically a Martinelli miss, which led to Ruben Amorim getting the win in that specific matchup. But tactics wise, well, I was gonna say, while you were actually talking about how you might look to close us down, this system that he plays, it's a very actually simple thing on how you can try to shut down the system. It's just a simple man-to-man press. Reason why I'll tell you that is because if you look at our games and if you look at this type of system,
Hmm.
it's very possession based, but it's also very quick, intricate one touch passes that a lot of our pivot midfielders or sometimes our tens receive. So you'll see often at times, even in this Arsenal game, we'll start off from the back. And when I say literally from the back, it will start from Onana playing it to one of our center backs.
Hmm.
Our center backs will either try to play one of the wingers, the wing backs who are like close to him, or he'll try to break the lines by playing a pivot midfielder straight up. Now, if you man up our wing backs and our pivot midfielders there, not only does it require whoever player it is who's receiving the ball to make a quick decision, but it also everyone else is going to be covered, and that's where you can basically
Hmm.
try to win the ball quick. The reason why I say this is going to be a big problem is because I don't think the players that we have currently in the system are well equipped enough to do that perfectly as of, or not perfect, but in a much better way as of yet. We're only 3 games in. They still have a lot to learn. They're still
Hmm.
learning the system and stuff too. But how I see you guys potentially getting the better of against this system is that man-to-man press. If you're depending on who
Hmm.
you start in midfield, if your midfielders are one playing a high press and your attackers are playing a high press where you're not allowing us to move out from the back, that'll be a big problem. And we've seen like some of the issues with this system too, against Ipswich. I could actually say that against Ipswich, we actually could have lost the game. It had Ipswich take
Hmm.
were better at in terms of taking their chances, we could have lost the game. Onana made a shit ton of saves that game. We caught life. Like there was one save
Yeah.
that he made, which was from the penalty box, and it was just straight at him. There were a lot of
Hmm.
saves that he made that game. Kind of the same thing against Bodo Glimt as well. Like Bodo Glimt in the first half, we had a terrible first half. The goal that they
Mm.
scored, the first one, I'm not sure. I can't remember who led to that mistake, but it was basically like a square ball in the middle of the box, and the guy just hits it top ins. And the second goal, Malasia just gets absolutely smoked. So it's not like this is not me sitting here and praising this system, saying that this system has no flaws. Like this system 100% has flaws. What I'm looking in terms of tactics with whatever Arteta sets out Arsenal to be is how does Ruben Amorim adapt to it? Because one thing I've seen in example Manchester City game when Sporting played Manchester City, he made a lot of changes in the second half. Bodo Glimt game, he made a lot of changes in the second half too. The one change that he made right away in the second half was he took off Malasia and he brought on somebody else. And right away, I think in the 46, oh not the 40, that was actually the Everton game. We scored an equalizer, and then we ended up we scored the first goal. We ended up getting an equalizer, and then we ended up
Yeah.
getting the winner. So he makes changes. It's more so for me to see how he's going to adapt up against whoever Arteta puts out, and however Arteta is going to play. And man management, like game management, is going to be a big thing. But in terms of you guys, if you are able to play that man to man press and keep Amad Diallo quiet, because Amad Diallo is actually the one who makes a lot of the things tick for us. That right hand side for us, which is Mazraoui, Ahmad, and whoever plays, if it's Bruno or if it's Rashford playing on that side, because him and Xerxes and Bruno keep swapping. Whoever plays on that side, if you are able to shut that side down, I think you guys will be completely fine. And I'm not even getting into the quality of your players. I was gonna say like I rate some of your players very, very highly, and that's why I'm not confident for this game. Is because if you just do a matchup to matchup player for player, your players are top quality. Bukayo Saka, Odegaard, all of these type of players. Like adding Odegaard being back in your team right now is
Mm.
such a massive boost for you, because you can see with Odegaard being in the team that creativity is just there. Not only does it not only do you see his game, but then you also see other players improving their game with him being around too. And that's the biggest worry. Last season, I think Odegaard scored against us when we played this same fixture, and
Yeah,
he
he
was a
scored.
big problem. Yeah, he was a
He
he
was.
was a
I think he
big
was the.
problem.
It was the return. It was literally a quick goal, bro.
Quick goal.
Like
Yeah,
why?
we went one
It
nil
was
up,
the
and then you
Rashford,
guys equalized.
and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it equalized, bro.
Exactly. So
But
yeah.
on that though,
Hmm.
because yes, I agree with you. And to be honest, your right side, which is our left side, the only
Yeah.
thing I might be concerned with is probably Calafiori.
Yeah.
But the only thing that helps Calafiori is that Martinelli is probably going to start this game, and
Okay.
he'll have Martinelli. Yes, going forward, he's not been the best at the moment, but he still scored a couple of goals. But
Yeah.
he's not been the best to his level that he's shown us before. But one thing Martinelli does have is legs. One
Yeah.
thing he does have is defensive ability, and he can definitely defend. So he's going to be tracking back.
Yeah.
If need be, Martinelli is going to be tracking back and leaving Saka to do the attacking while he does the defensive work, because sometimes we just sacrifice his game for him to do the defensive work. So
Yeah.
he will be doing the defensive work and he'll be on them. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's Mazraoui, whether it's Amad Diallo, or Rashford, or whoever it is that's on that side, he will be on them. He'll be trying to stop them,
Mhm.
and then obviously Calafiori will be doing his own thing as well to try and stop them, as well as Gabriel as well. Because if you get past them, you got to get past Gabriel as well,
Yeah. That's true.
who we all know Gabriel and Saliba, man. So they're just a class above the rest, to be honest. But listen, there's definitely ways that we can stop you guys. And you mentioned something about the chances that you concede, maybe not goals but chances that you concede. Yes, there is still a lot of chances, but you can see that that's because even in the, I don't know whether, because I look at the game that we had against Sporting, yeah,
Hmm.
and the way he has his centre backs, they take a lot of risks.
They do.
I
Yeah.
feel like when you have centre backs who take a lot of risks here, if you come up against a well drilled team who can pop the ball around you, which in my personal opinion Arsenal is,
Yeah. 100%.
especially
I
with
agree.
especially with Erdegaard being able to do. Did you watch the West Ham game?
Yeah. I watched the West Ham game.
That
Yeah.
pass, that little dink pass that he always does for Saka when Saka's making the run, because Saka and Odegaard have got perfect chemistry.
Yeah.
So they're in each other's heads all the time. So as soon as Martin Odegaard's got the ball, Saka knows to make the diag run, and then Odegaard's gonna find him somehow, whether it's a low driven through ball or whether it's a ball over the top to try and get him. He's gonna find Saka somehow.
Yeah.
And with the way that the centre backs take the risks, and to be honest, I think this was going to be an actual comfortable game for us, just because we're at home. But it's not even me trying to disrespect. I know we try to do the rival thing and banter and all
Yeah.
that. I'm not even trying to disrespect it, but I just feel like that point right there, that the centre backs taking risks, and I have Martin Odegaard operating in that position. I have Saka there. I have Havertz there, who's able to help with the link up a little bit. Like, it's dangerous, bro. It's
Yeah.
dangerous, especially if you have centre backs who aren't particularly confident in the system yet. Yes, Mazarawi is very good, but you have Mazarawi, you're gonna have Delit, and you're gonna have and Delit doesn't have a lot of tracking back pace. Yeah, he isn't like a snail or anything,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. If we're running, or Saka's running at full speed, or Martinelli's running, he's not gonna be able to catch up to them.
True.
Mazarawi might, but you're going to have Euro, who's coming back from an injury. He most likely will play now. Now that Shaw's
Shaw's
decided to
injured.
just take
Yeah.
a holiday now and just be injured.
Yeah.
So I just look at it and I'm like, I don't see how, unless he has a plan, he can't. I don't see how he expects to win the game, but also have that signature. My centre backs are always going to take the risks, because I agree with what you said. He loves to play out of the back. Goalkeeper, centre backs, they passing around each other, passing
Yeah.
across goal. Like, it's it's mad risky. But if you've got technical players and players that are technically gifted on the ball, centre backs that are technically gifted on the ball, which I think
Yeah.
Euro is.
Yeah.
Euro looks like he's a very technically gifted player on the ball,
Hmm.
but you can still find yourself in position in problems when you come up against a team that can press. Which
100%.
with Erdegaard we can press
Yeah.
as well. I don't know what your
No,
thoughts are on
100%.
that, bro.
I
'Cause-
completely agree. I completely, like, you've actually nailed it perfectly on the point. It's there's a big difference of obviously teams that you play. And no, this is like, I like, even though we are rivals, I completely respect Arsenal. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and just waffle about your team. Like, you guys are a good team, 100%. You're one of the better teams in this league, and I've been thinking about this since all of Ruben Amorim's games so far. Is that, would we be scoring these goals if we do play a better side? Would we be getting all these chances if we do play a better side? Would we not concede, or would we get a clean sheet or not concede so many chances if we were playing a better side too? So it's like, these are all things that we're going to find out tomorrow. But the biggest thing for me is that you guys have quality players who, if I
Mm,
think of certain instances where Onana made certain saves in the Ipswich game, or if certain chances were missed by other teams, I just think of it as like, if Bukayo Saka gets that chance, or if whoever, any other team, Odegaard gets a chance to play a very, very good pass, they will do it. And we just can't sit on this fact and hope that the system and all this stuff is just going to get us over the line. But then
mm,
again, this is where I'm looking to Amorim. How are you going to set up this team to try to counter whatever Arsenal are going to throw at us? Because that's what you've been signed to do, and that's why you are the manager of this club. And this is it, bro. Like we've said, this is the big boy job. And it's like, you're not always going to be playing Ipswich and Everton at home and all that type of stuff. We play you guys tomorrow. We play City in 2 weeks. So it's like, the big games are coming up. We play Forest
yeah,
on the
man.
weekend. And Forest have been in decent form as well. And that will be a difficult game. So it's like,
Mm,
the season's starting to kick off for him. He has to start to try to obviously get results, because even though a lot of United fans want to see good performances, including myself, trust me, like, I want to see good
yeah.
performances. I want to see a clear style, want to see that. Unfortunately, in the situation that we're in and the type of job that he signed up for, he has to
Mm,
deliver results, and he has to try to deliver tomorrow. And with this being said, the only way that I see us winning tomorrow is if Arteta just absolutely has a stinker in the way that he sets up the team. Like he just tries something
Yeah, I
completely
agree.
different in trying to like he's probably if he thinks and looks at this game like, oh, I need to try something different to try to counter attack Ruben Amorim's like three at the back system. Yeah, that's where I think we can win. Because if he
Mm.
decides to disrupt whatever you have going right now to just cater to us, I think we can definitely expose you. But
Yeah.
with this being said, I think the most that we'll get from tomorrow, honestly, Saad, is a draw. That's the most that we'll
Mm.
get. I don't think we'll. If we go a goal down early, it's wraps. I'll tell you this: it's over.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, it's over.
If within the first 10 to 15, you
Yeah,
have to, if you want to get anything out of this game, that first 15 to 20 minutes is key.
yeah,
You can't let us, like, even if we're peppering your goal, you can't let
yeah,
us score. Because if you
yeah,
let us score, the floodgates open. It could be 3-0 by halftime, and then it's an uphill battle for you
yeah.
guys. You could come back and score one goal, and because he's, like you said, he's very good at second half FC. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Coming out in the second half, and they come out with a lot of pressure, come
Yeah,
out with a lot of energy. But I'm just looking at your run. Obviously, I'm going to cancel out the game against Arsenal because even if you lose that, I don't think that's like really something to just judge him on, because I think Arsenal, Liverpool really are some good teams at the moment,
yeah, yeah,
who are playing. Maybe even Chelsea, we can put them in that bracket. But Chelsea, you definitely, just for the fan bases, I think he needs to win that one,
yeah,
and the Liverpool one. To be honest, all of them he needs to win.
yeah.
But in regards to the fixtures that you've got coming up, you've got Nottingham Forest at home, which Nottingham Forest, I don't know what's going on with them now, because they
They're a
look
hit.
good,
They're like a
but
hit
then,
and miss. They're a very hit and miss.
yeah,
They
bro.
might show up one day and they might not show up one day. It's like,
If Wood's on one,
yeah,
then they're gonna have a good game,
that's
because
true.
Wood, bro. Listen,
He's been carrying
Chris
them.
Wood
Yeah,
is
he's been
Chris Wood.
carrying
Chris
their
Wood
team.
has been doing a lot for them.
Yeah,
Then you got Vittoria, in the Europa League,
Europa League. Yeah, I think that's a
and
way as
then,
well. Yeah,
yeah, it's away, and then you come back, and then you got big away games. Then you got
that's what I'm
City,
saying. Look at our away games too.
but these,
Like,
yeah, because you got City away. Then you've got the Thursday, so because it's every week now. You got 2 games a week, bro. It's crazy. I've always listened. In England, the domestic run of games is crazy. Then you've got Tottenham on Thursday in the
care
League
about that?
Cup,
The League Cup. Yeah,
away. So you have to travel away to that, and then on the weekend you're at home to Bournemouth, who are
yeah,
no joke.
yeah.
Bournemouth are a serious team this season. Then you got Wolves. So I think that run right there of 3 games of City, Tottenham, and Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will definitely be the hardest game. Tottenham away, I think you guys can get a good result against them.
I'm
If
more
if
confident about Tottenham away than Arsenal away. Yeah, definitely.
if you're a well coached team, you can get a result against them at Toilet Bowl. Sorry,
Yeah.
Man City at
Oh, I
this
hope this
point,
run continues for them up
yeah.
until we play them.
If
That's
if
just what
if
I
that
hope. Yeah.
run if that run continues, even though it's at the Etihad, I think if that run has continued and they're still losing games, Man United fans going into that weekend should be demanding a win.
Yeah, we
But
should.
just because
100%.
just because of the fragile state that Man City will be in, you must then demand a win. You have to go there. If they beat you, it's going to be an embarrassment, because you can go to their ground and pressure them and hurt them. As a
Plus, Ruben
rival,
Ruben Amorim's already beaten him this year, so he knows
yeah,
going into that game. Pretty much, he has a good idea of what he has to do and how he can
exactly.
set this team up. Again, it'll just go down to application of players and execution of whether they can
Mm,
actually execute what he's going to ask them to do. And to be honest, this is going to be an issue tomorrow too. It's going to be player execution tomorrow as well. I've seen a lot of people were talking about in the chat. Oh, Rashford always scores a goal against Arsenal and stuff like that. Or he's been
always,
doing that
bro.
for the past 2 seasons. Is like, yeah, it's again player execution. Do I think he will have chances in front of goal? I think I will. I think he will, but it's more so of whether he will finish them or not. So
Mm,
that's just really it. But yeah, overall, bro, like tomorrow's game is how I'm viewing tomorrow's game as is a test for Ruben Amorim against one of the big six teams, and I want to see how we
Okay.
match up, because then I'll get a good understanding of that City trip when we do make that City trip, or when we make that Spurs trip, of what he can do to try to go up against these big teams and stuff like that. So if we lose, we lose. It's like, I'm not going to say, obviously, I'm going to be upset a little bit because it's Arsenal. No, we don't want to lose to our rivals ever. But at the same time, it's like the in the long run, it's not that big of a defeat, because we have like we're focusing on other things, and we're in this period right now where performances do matter, but results
Mm.
also to a certain extent do matter. But it's too early right now. It's only like his third
Yeah.
or fourth game, so. Had this
Yeah.
fixture been much later on in the season where he's figured out his 11, I think I'd be more pissed if we lost.
Mm.
But it's, yeah, let's see how he matches up, and I'm just more
Yeah.
excited to see that. So you never know.
Oh, fair enough. Big up to Capo who says, Dímelo mi gente. Salud Sadamir. Salud Sadamir and your guest. Not sure if Ruben Neves or Mahrez. Have you ever gotten that before?
I've
Ruben
gotten
Neves
Ruben.
or Mahrez?
I've gotten Ruben Amorim. I've got Ruben Neves. I've got Mares. I've got a lot of names before, man. Yeah, yeah,
I big up to you, man. I can actually see
yeah.
it, bro. I can actually see it. But listen, big up to you guys, man. Right, we're gonna get to the starting 11s. We're gonna speak about the starting 11s. I want to speak to you about a player quickly.
Let's go.
Who do you think he's gonna start him? And that player, because listening to press conferences and listening to Man United fans
I think I
speak,
know who this is. I think I
he's
might know who this is.
obsessed with this
Oh,
player.
I know who it is. I know who
Is
it is.
he gonna be starting Mason Mount in this game? Because I don't know what the obsession is. Maybe I've seen a few people. I'm not sure who said it. I was watching something, and somebody said that I think it was on Terry's channel, Football Terrace. Big up the Football Terrace.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was on Terry's channel, and someone said that he's obsessed with Mason Mount, and it's due to his footballing brain and all of this. What do you think? Is he warranting a start in this game, or do you think he'll be brought off the bench?
He definitely shouldn't start, in my opinion, at all,
Yeah,
because I don't think this game is. I don't think he has enough quality to do something in this type of game. He's just not that player anymore. Actually don't even think he was that player ever at Chelsea. But at the same time, I understand why he likes him so much, and why managers in the past also have liked someone like him so much. Is because he does a lot of the stuff off the ball. He does everything that a manager would want you to do off the ball. The guy is just full of energy. He's a runner. He a track star. He runs around the pitch like the whole time. That's pretty much the best thing that he's at. Like, if I
mm,
genuinely sit here and ask all these people in the chat, and I ask you as well, Saad, to name me one thing that Mason Mount is good at, what would you say? I don't think you could clearly come up with something and say that he's good at, like, on the ball. If there's something that he's really good at, people try to tell me before, oh, the half turn, this and that, like his half turn is great, all that type of stuff. Cool. Like, one half turn, like, is that what about the
yeah,
rest? 80 to 90 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. What about the rest of that? So I completely understand that he likes a player like this because of the pressing, because of the energy, all that type of stuff. In this system, our system has a lot to do with pressing itself. You see all our attackers press all the time. Like I mentioned earlier, Ahmad literally created 2 goals for this team by just pressing and winning the ball from that. So I
mm,
understand why he likes him. Although he even before the Ipswich game, I heard a lot of reports, and there was a picture of him like hugging Mount and smiling and all that, and he was like, "Oh, I really like Mount. He's a good player," and whatever he was saying, right? He said all that, and then in the Ipswich game, he gave him microwave minutes. He didn't even start. He didn't even come on in like the 65th or the 70th or the 80th. He literally came on in the pitch at like the 85th minute or something like that. And we were drawing 1-1 at that time. So you didn't even try to bring him on in the 70th or 80th minute to try to win this game. I don't know what he meant to do by bringing him on, but he brought him on. Same thing
mm,
for the Everton game, microwave minutes. He brought him on in the last 10 minutes. In terms of, like, yeah, whatever he was trying to do. So this whole thing of like, it's his guy and he really likes him and it's his boy.
mm,
I hear it to a certain extent. It's just that he's saying those things, but his actions are not proving it, if that's what makes sense to you guys, right? And
Mm.
I think that's just kind of where I sit at that. Like, he's saying all these things, but if he actually comes out and decides to start Mount in a game, then I will be a little bit concerned in terms of the fact that he actually rates Mount so much. Um, but yeah, I don't think he starts tomorrow. I'd be really, really surprised if he does. I know we're gonna go into the lineup, but I'll just talk a little bit about the midfield.
Yeah.
Even with Manu being suspended for this game, the reason why I wasn't too I wasn't too fussed about it is because I actually didn't think Manu would start this game in the first place. This game has Ugarte Casemiro written all over it in terms of midfield. In terms of how we play, it has Ugarte Casemiro written all over it because we just want them to do the dirty work in the midfield. If we're looking for players to try to shut down Odegaard when he has the ball, Ugarte and Casemiro, I think, are more so Ugarte, because Casemiro, the issue with him is a little bit of his legs and stuff like that, and him running up and down the pitch is going to be a problem
Mm.
for him and our team. But Ugarte, specifically, him being partnered with any other midfielder, whoever we do start, I think would be better for us. Mount, like I
Mm.
said, there's nothing that he does good on the ball, so there's nothing that he can do really to try to help our team in either getting a win or even a draw at a certain point. So I don't rate Mount at all. The fact that he's on 250K a week and the fact that we signed him for whatever 50 million is crazy. But that was an old me. That was what our terrorist manager did. And yeah, it just we have to pay for those mistakes right now. But I
Yeah.
really pray and hope that it doesn't turn out to be a thing that Ruben Amorim actually rates him so highly and all that type of stuff. But so far, with all the stuff that he said, his actions haven't proven it. So I'm kind of okay with where it's at right now. Like, he can say something today about Mason Mount, but I feel like I'm confident in the fact that I don't think he's going to start tomorrow. So it is what it is. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
And speaking of lineups, let's get
Yeah.
into it then. What what
Okay.
what is your preferred lineup um for this game
Yeah.
that you would go
So
with?
yeah. So obviously Luke Shaw's injured. Martinez is out because of suspension. Manu is out because of suspension. So with that, with those three players being
By the
out,
way, just saying that,
yeah,
very stupid from Lissandro Martinez
to take that yellow
and
card.
Man
Yeah.
United fans should be very angry at him because why would you do that? It was such an unnecessary challenge for him to get a yellow card for. It was no reason when you know that you're gonna because they brief these players. I
Yeah.
know that they brief these players
100%.
before they go out and tell them you're on your last yellow card. Relax, don't go and do no mad challenges.
Yeah.
I
I
know
think
that they briefed them.
Manu's situation was a little bit different because I think he had
Yeah,
sorry, he had to pull the guy's arm down. He had to pull him down
yeah,
because I think they were through on goal. So his situation was different, and I was actually pretty
mm.
happy that he took that foul,
Yeah,
despite
same.
him missing that game because it could have led to a chance. Yeah, and I completely agree. Martinez was stupid. This might actually really be a very big unpopular opinion. But I was like I would have, even if Martinez was fit, I actually would have started Luke Shaw in that center back role over Martinez. Reason why I say that, bro,
Mm.
is because I have a feeling Martinez is going to get absolutely cooked by Bukayo Saka. Last time Martinez went up against a pretty good right winger, he got cooked. And the game that I'm thinking of is that 7-0 game against
Mohamed
Liverpool
Salah.
when Salah
Right.
absolutely ripped him to
He
shreds,
didn't even
bro.
know where he was, bro.
Yeah,
He
bro,
was
he
just
didn't know
around.
where he was, bro. Like, he's still looking for himself up until he's still looking for Salah until this day, bro.
Hey.
So with that being said, and I've had issues with Martinez even before Ruben Amorim joined, like at the start of this season. The one issue that I have with him, bro, is that he's again, like, this might just be me, and I'm just speaking for myself, but he's kind of a bozo at times, bro. Martinez, stupid challenges like that yellow card that we were just talking about, stupid shit like that. And then also, he doesn't know when to press for a ball and when not to. And then what happens is when he decides to press for a ball in that situation, not looking at his surroundings, the player most of the time gets the better of him. And then we have our whole defense and our midfield just exposed, where they're just running through because he decided to make that stupid decision of deciding to press and not winning his ball. So that's another thing that when we were talking about tactics and stuff, you'll see that a lot where you'll see our back three pretty much at the halfway line. You'll see them make a very they play a high line basically. You'll also see like sometimes Delict sometimes maybe whoever the other center back is, Mazraoui, or if it's Maguire
Mm,
or Evans, whoever starts
mm,
tomorrow, you'll see one of them make a high push to try to win the ball, just leaving the two center backs in the back. And
mm,
oftentimes, if Delict or Mazraoui or whoever the third center back is, they go and they push for that ball and they don't win it, that's when we're exposed. And you man have enough pace on your wings. Also, not so much like Havertz and Jesus as a striker, but you might have enough pace on your wings to expose us and create a very, very good chance from that. And
mm.
those are certain things in like Ruben Amorim's system that you could look to try to capitalize on. Because like I
Bro,
said,
that's where I
um,
got. Do you know what? That's where I got the whole thing as well, bro.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking about the um the centre backs taking
yeah,
risks. Obviously, we know they take risks, but
yeah,
I just a lot of people were like happy and relieved that Sandro Martinez wasn't playing.
yeah,
I was kind of upset because I wanted him to play because I know that when he's tasked with taking a risk, he was going to do what Diomande did, which Diomande, I don't know how he didn't get sent off against us.
yeah,
He was on a yellow card for like
yeah,
third
for like
minute, bro,
yeah,
and then
for like
he
the
made
whole
like
game.
four
Yeah,
tackles, bro. He made four tackles. I don't know how he didn't get sent off, but
yeah,
Martinez, you can trust him to be the guy to get sent off. He
one
can,
hundred percent.
you can trust him to be the guy to get sent off, bro. Especially after that tackle. Who was it against, bro? He done that fucking that just jump with his feet out, bro.
I think it
I think
was
it was
Cole
Sheffield.
Palmer, or it was
Sheffield,
because he did that. He oh no, I
Chelsea.
remember who you're saying. There was a challenge that he had in the Chelsea game where he hurt Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer missed like 2 games because of that.
Oh, that was
Um,
when he slid. He they said
yeah,
he slipped,
they said he
but
slipped,
it
but
was
yeah, it's
similar to
just
the
yeah.
Bruno thing.
Similar to the Bruno thing, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's just when I say he has like a bozo moment, it's just more so of the fact that his IQ kind of lacks in terms of like the
Mm,
game. And that's what you kind of get from these so-called destroyers that we call in today's game. Like we call Lisandro Martinez the butcher because apparently he's very aggressive as a center back and all that type of stuff. When you get an aggressive type of center back, you sometimes also get a center back who doesn't make the right decisions because his mindset is to always try to win the ball, but it's not always the smartest way of winning the ball. Like not looking
mm,
at your surroundings to see like if I go and I push for this ball and if I don't win it, and if that guy gets the better of me, then I have to look around to see who's there to try to cover up for me. Those type of things, I feel like he doesn't think about it. And that's when he goes into a challenge thinking that he's just going to win the ball. And when he doesn't, he leaves half our team exposed. So he's not like he's been on, I wouldn't say fraud watch, but he's been on a little bit of like a is he good enough type of watch for me personally. And I think a lot of
mm.
United fans have been like that since last season, since the middle of like last season. One big thing for him is his injury record. He does get injured quite a lot, to be honest. And obviously we want our center backs to be completely fit. But I'll even say this is that if Ahmad continues to play in this wingback role, um, and Mazraoui plays as that other center back, then Martinez. I'm sorry, but you might not have a spot in this team because I would
Mm.
play Delict over you. I would play Euro over you. I would play Mazraoui over you currently because Mazraoui's absolutely been killing it in that wing back role.
Zara is the best
Sorry,
player for you
in the
guys.
center, bro. He's a center back and he got an assist for us the other day. Like it was crazy. And on the feet, on like with the ball on his feet too, he's very very good. Like I did not think I was not familiar with Mazraoui's game at all, and I think it's an absolute bargain that we got him for 12 million. But to my point, if he continues to play the way that he's playing, Martinez might not have a spot in this team, and I think
Mm,
that says a lot about just how he's been at United and how the type of player that he is that it just doesn't work out in this system because I think Euro, I think is more in terms of his build. One, he's like Euro's like 6'3" or 6'4", so as a center back, that's perfect. I think he's technically better than you on the ball too. One thing I do like about Lisandro Martinez is sometimes those long passes that he makes are pretty good. But other than that, I think look, we have other players who can make those type of passes. And with how we're trying to move the ball too, it's less of that long ball and it's more of these short, intricate passes in the Ruben Amorim system. So I don't think we're going to see that anyway. So it's not like we're missing out on anything from his like long passes. And other than that, yeah, like everybody else, Delict is more composed on the ball. He's more better. in my opinion, defensively as well. And Mazraoui just currently is levels in this team. So I don't see Martinez really starting in any of those positions if our team is fully fit. The only position that I could potentially see him based off of injuries is playing as a DM, because he played as a DM under Eric Ten Hag, actually under Ajax. And I see him playing that type of role because our two pivot midfielders, in this case, Ugarte and Casemiro, they are actually defensive midfielders. They're not so much players who progress the ball and move forward. So if that's what we're asking from players in that role to do, Lissandro could do that. We don't.
Mm.
If he makes defensive mistakes that high up in the pitch, I'm okay with that because
Exactly.
we'll have
Yeah.
defensive people to cover. If he's not able to win the ball, or if he hoofs like a high pass and it's not able to go through, it's fine because it depends on the area of the pitch that he's in. So he's not going to expose us. So I really don't see myself personally, big up TJ every single time. I personally don't see Martinez actually finding a spot in this team if we have a fully fit 11.
I
But
can hear that.
if I do see him in a position, it will be that DM. That's really
Mm.
it.
No, I
That's
can hear
really it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into the actual starting 11s then. So
Okay.
what 11 you going for? Starting from goalkeeper to attack. Obviously, it's the 3-4-2-1.
Yeah.
Is it that he plays?
3-4-2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
So what you going for? In the We'll start for goalkeeper, which is Onana, obviously.
Yeah, so
Um,
Onana, no brainer. He's been pretty good. Actually, he's been very good this season. Like
mm,
a lot of the saves, he's actually like saved us a lot in so many games. So he's 100% a start. And plus, like we don't really have any other goalkeeper like that, anyways, other than Bayern Deer. But Onana starts. Delict definitely. Now that Luke Shaw has been injured, we will possibly see Evans or Maguire. Me personally, I would probably start Maguire because in the three back system, I actually think he shouldn't be that big of a problem. He doesn't have ground or space to cover. He just more so needs to be there in terms of winning the ball and clearing it. The only issue that I'll have with, and this is an issue that I would have with Evans or Maguire, is the pace. Is obviously Martinelli and Saka and even Jesus to a certain extent, like they will try to get the better of him. And yeah, it's just if it is what it is, we're gonna have to figure something out. So
mm,
Maguire, I'll say start Maguire if that is the case.
okay.
Um, then Delict, and the other center back would be Mazraoui. And then
Yeah.
our fullbacks would be Dalot playing on the left. So Diogo Dalot on the left. On the right hand side, it would be Amad Diallo. Our two pivot midfielders would be Casemiro and Ugarte. And then as our tens, it would be Bruno, and I would start Xerxes. And then as a striker, I would play Rashford. That's the
Okay.
team that I would go with. Yeah,
And sorry, on the left, you went with Dallo. Did you say sorry?
Dallo. Yeah, Dallo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. That's an interesting team. That's an interesting team. I think it's not that different from what he's gone with before.
yeah.
Apart from obviously some slight changes there with Maguire in the defense, coming in for you guys. Interesting to see that Hoyland doesn't make the starting 11, uh, even though he got 2 goals. Is that something you wouldn't consider putting Hoyland in there?
The thing with Hoyland right now for me currently is that
Yeah.
I think in terms of how we play and the type of player that he is,
Hmm.
Xerxes just offers more currently. Um, because he's going to play at Xerxes. He could play as a striker and he could also play as a 10 because against Everton, we actually saw him and Rashford interchanging quite a lot. But I think towards the end of the game, he cemented his position as a 10. So he was just hanging around more of that position. If Xerxes plays as a 10 or if Xerxes plays as a 9, I think he just offers more in this system. And from how we are going to play up against you guys too, like I'm looking at this Arsenal side, I think Xerxes would be a bigger threat than Hoyland. Hoyland, yes, in from what we've seen so far, is a better finisher
Yeah.
than Xerxes. But in terms of how I'm wanting this team to set up, I would say Xerxes would be a better fit. Because Xerxes,
Okay.
even other than these 2 goals that he scored against Everton, he played really, really well in terms of moving the ball too. And
Yeah.
positional
Transition.
wise, yeah, transition, positional wise too. I think Rashford's second goal which was our third goal, was all created from Xerxes. I think he played like this one cutting pass through to Ahmad, and then Ahmad just ran down the pitch and played that pass to Rashford, and Rashford scored. So it's more so in terms of his game. I just see that if we're able to, if we can try to create a threat from something, and we're trying to expose Arsenal's defense, it's more so through Xerxes rather than Højlund. With that being said, though, a Højlund probably comes on in the second half. Like he
Yeah.
probably makes that change. So yeah, I'd personally start Xerxes over Højlund. I'd go with that team.
Okay. Starting 11 for Arsenal. I'm gonna go with obviously Raya in goal. Backline for me stays the same. Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber. That stays the same. Is Gabriel fit? Red Bull. I don't think Gabriel had an issue, to be honest. I think the question marks are actually on Party and Marino, but Gabriel just got brought off. He literally just brought him off, I think, to rest him because we were winning 5-0 at that point, or 5-1 at that point. So that's basically the reason why I think it was 5-2 at that point. In the second half, we were winning, so he didn't need to play him for long. But I'm going with obviously, like I just said, Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber as the defense. In front of them, if Thomas Partey's fit, brilliant, bro, because that gives us a hold on this midfield. We can really start to control shit with him and Erdegaard on the same team. I would go with Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Martin Erdegaard. Although I will say this, I really like Marino with Erdegaard because they're both left-footed. It's like they know how to pass to each other to allow the other to have space to just turn and move with the ball. Do you know what I mean? So, um, I'm gonna go with Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard if he's fit. If Thomas Partey isn't fit, then obviously it's gonna have to be Jorginho, um, which I don't know how he's gonna handle the physical game. Ugarte and Casemiro are obviously gonna be physical, so
Yeah.
I don't know how he's gonna handle that. Then in the attack, it's pretty simple. Kaya Saka on the right. I go Havertz down the middle, and I would go Martinelli on the left. If Jesus starts tomorrow, I'm gonna be livid, bro. I'm gonna be foaming at the mouth, bro. It's gonna be nuts. So if I see Jesus on that pitch, I'm gonna start throwing stuff. It's actually gonna be bad because I'm sick and tired of this fucking piece of shit player, bro. I'm done with him, bro. I washed my hands with Jesus, bro. I'm done with him. Get him out. Get rid of this guy in this. I was about to swear there. I was about to say the c word. Let me not.
Yeah,
Go
relax.
monetization and that,
Yeah, man.
bro. Get rid of this guy in January, man. Get rid of him and just bring. Even if you don't want to go fully ham on an attacker, just bring in somebody else who can do a better job than what this guy does. This guy will give me, bro. You know what? Enough said about him, bro. Just if Jesus starts tomorrow, I'm gonna flip, bro. There's gonna before the game even starts, I'm probably gonna have a massive rant if he ends up starting that game.
You know
So
what's so crazy? Do you remember when you guys played us like 2 years ago at Old Trafford when we won like 3-1? That one
yeah,
goal from
bro.
Martinelli was, I'm not even gonna lie, Jesus was so good that game. Like I was actually so concerned of Jesus that game. It's just so crazy to see him from that game to what he is right now because it's
This is what
completely two
happens.
different players. Yeah. Like he
That's what
was such a
operations,
problem that game, bro. Such a problem.
bro. Schick. That's what operations do to you, man.
That's true.
That's why I fear for this Luke Shaw, Donny, if he starts happy. To be honest, I think it's done for Luke Shaw, but Malasia,
Yeah, it's
bro.
true and done.
Malasia is actually he showed some promise. So if he ends up sitting here getting continuously injured and having to go through, if you continuously go through like injuries and then operations and stuff like that, you start to deteriorate as a footballer,
Yeah.
bro, because you don't go into challenges the same. It doesn't matter what happens. You will only go into challenges after like maybe 2 or 3 years. We saw that with Van
Yeah.
Dijk. Van Dijk had a spell of like 2 years where he ain't going into challenges the same after that thing
That
that
injury.
happened with
Yeah.
Pickford. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
he weren't going into challenges. So it's just a mental thing. So listen, Jesus, in my opinion, is tapped out. Sterling is, bruv. That's I don't know what the fuck is that, bro. Do you know what I mean? So at least bro, and he's doing better than Jesus. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that?
That's yeah.
Washed Sterling is doing better than Jesus, bro. What did I do to deserve this, bro? What did I
How
do to
how old
deserve
is
this?
How old is Jesus? Jesus.
If I tell you, you're gonna walk out the room, bro.
See,
Open
this
that
is
door
why
and
I'm
just walk
asking
out,
because I
bro.
feel like he's quite
He's
young.
27, bro. He's
That's
27.
that's
His prime
mental,
years,
bro.
bro. Prime
That's
years.
mental.
It's
Yeah,
his
his prime
prime
years.
years we're dealing with, bro. He just entered his prime. And this is the type of shit he's doing where I'm trying to get him to go to Saudi now. I'm just trying to get a bit of pee from Saudi, bro, and just take him, bro. You know what I
Nah, I
mean?
hear you.
You need a Brazilian with a big name that was part of the Centurion squad. I got you. Do you know what I mean? Take him from my hands, bro. I'm done with this guy.
Yeah,
Like
it's crazy.
it's nuts, bro. So I don't know what happened to him after that injury, after that operation. It's like I think the actual route was he had an operation on his knee.
Mhm.
Then he came back. Then he had like fluid in his knee, so
Okay.
they were controlling the amount of games he played. Then apparently he went and had like a small procedure, which didn't have him out for long. But then he wasn't playing,
So it's just like a bunch of setbacks basically that he
and
had.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and then after that he's come back. In pre-season, he looked energized. He looked bigger, bro. Pause. Do you know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean?
I know what you mean.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? But he looked bigger in stance. He looked like more healthier. He looked like he was ready to take on the season. Um he looked more what's it called? Um he looked on job, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like he took care of his health and his problems. And then, bro, it's just like it all disappeared. Once we got into a regular season, bro, it just disappeared, bro. And now he's just dropping stinkers. I mean, to be honest, man, when he didn't score against Bolton, bro, that was
That was like the
one
moment
of
for you guys
that
where
was
y'all
that was
realized
a
it
that
was
was, that
over.
was a low point, bro. That was a low
Yeah.
point. That's where I realized this guy needs to go
Yeah, he
ASAP.
needs to go.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no point with this guy anymore. Yeah, it's just when you get that moment with a player where okay, yeah, he needs to go now.
Yeah.
He needs to like there's
It's me
there's
every week
not
with Garnacho. Every week with
yeah
Garnacho, bro.
nothing he bro. If I speak about Garnacho, I'm in big trouble, bro.
You know, actually,
I'm in big
I
trouble.
didn't even say his name up until right now this whole stream, and I was actually very proud of myself for that. But I caved in. Yeah, man. You're talking about shit players. I had to mention Garnacho, bro. That guy's
Oh my
put the
god,
fries in
bro.
the bag. Garnacho, man. Seriously.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I've never seen a guy fuck up an attack that's trying to play so good, and then he just fucks you up.
hey, just
I
no
mean, to be
surprise
honest, he
that
scored.
yeah, he scored, but then we played Bodo Glimt and we won 3-2, and then he drops Garnacho and we win 4-0. So it's like it's rocket
Hey,
science, man. It is what it is.
yeah, man. There might be something there, bro. The dots are connecting, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey,
But
Osasuna soon, man. Osasuna soon. They're gonna come and ask for him, man.
la ilaha
Yeah,
illallah.
he's gonna be at Osasuna very soon, man. It is what it is.
It's better than what I heard somebody else say. Somebody said he was going to be in like a championship team in
Yeah.
2 years, bro.
Oh, I've said worse. I've said he was gonna play for hashtag United, but that's just it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. I've said worse, bro.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can afford his wages, bro.
Yeah, I don't
He
think they
might
would
have to
want
take a
him after
decrease,
looking
bro.
at how he plays. I
Yeah,
don't
you
think they
know
would
what? I
want
don't.
him.
I don't even think he's worth
Yeah,
it, bro. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's worth it.
for real.
But yeah, that's gonna be my starting 11 anyway. Um, let's just quickly do the combined 11, I guess.
Yeah, we can quickly
Um,
do it because it will be quick.
yeah. So goalkeeper, we're going with Raya,
Yeah.
or do you want to fight for Onana? Because I've actually seen a
Um,
lot of people say that Onana's had a good season. He definitely deserves to be ahead of Raya. I disagree, just because I've got my case for Raya. Raya needs to be in there, and the main reason why I say that and I said this in Dan Potts' channel again. The main reason why I fight for Raya is because in the whole of the Premier League, he is top for being able to catch the balls from like corners and crosses. Like he is elite at that.
Yeah,
I've realized that now he is elite at it, and the only time I ever see it happen is when against I think it was against Bournemouth when Solanke bumped into him and then he dropped the ball.
yeah,
Only time that I saw him, the only time that I really saw him fumble it is when that happened. But other than that, he's normally solid with
yeah, yeah,
that. And listen, his ability on the ball and all of that good stuff. I think it evens out a little bit, but with Onana, I know he's playing good at the moment, but he still does have like a rash moment where he just come out and just you don't know what he's gonna do, bro. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I'm putting him in. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you. I mean, even though I think Onana has been playing well this season, how I just kind of see of it is I just look at who currently is the better player, and I think David Raya is the better player currently.
Mm,
And that's just me being honest. Obviously things could change, but I don't really see him like Onana doing anything more than what he's doing currently to put him up like a different level. This is the same guy who told us this season that he was going to take a lot of risks and all that type of stuff. Like he told us that before the season started. So, in terms of like his saves and stuff, like yeah, he's made good saves and he's saved us in games, but it's just still too early for me to put him over someone like David Rayo, who I've been watching this season and I saw a good amount of last season too, and I've come to the agreement that he's a
mm,
very good goalkeeper. So yeah, I take David. I put David Rayo over Onana for goalkeeper
mm.
too. Yeah,
Um. Now the thing is, you play a formation which is the 3-4-3, 3-4, 2-1. Now I don't know if we can do that, just because I think we just got to go conventional, just a conventional 4-3-3, just because of obviously otherwise I don't get to put my wingers in, and
that's true.
do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go back four. I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna move because I need to get Mazraoui in. So I would go Timber, Saliba, and Gabriel, unless you want to fight for one of the centre backs. And then I wanted to put Mazraoui on the left, just because I want to get him in that back line. Because I listen, everybody knows. Yeah, I was one of the last guys actually fighting to protect my man Amrabat, but a lot of people were hating on my guy. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people were hating on my guy, bro. I
Yeah.
was like, let him breathe. Were you one of the people that were against him, or were you actually
Mm,
with him, or were you on
no,
the
I
fence?
wasn't. I wasn't like, yeah, I wasn't really against him, but I didn't say that we should have like kept him. I didn't say that we should have
Mm,
kept him, but I wasn't against him when he was here. It was a loan deal. It was like it's not like he was a set in stone player for Ten Hag system, and I didn't really think like he had a lot of like terrible performances either. At that time, bro, like I said, it was all my energy was just towards Ten Hag. I just wanted him gone. I just was okay with anything at that time for that guy to just leave. So I wasn't even technically looking at a lot of our players, especially him, because he was just there for less than a year. A lot of the other players who've been there for a while, obviously, I have my opinions on them. But under
mm,
Ten Hag in that season, I had no issue with Amrabat, bro. Yeah, I didn't have an
yeah.
issue with Amrabat.
Okay. So I would go. Let me know if you agree. Then.
Yeah.
I'm going with Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Mzraoui. That go with you?
See, is what I would say. I need to try to somehow add Aman to this team. When I say I need to try to add Aman to this team,
Ahmad Diallo can go left.
left.
Yeah.
Fairs. Cool. All right, that's fine. Then yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So by the way, big up to Mo. I think Mo just redirected. Big up footy judge Mo for the raid.
Shout out to Mo.
Absolute legend. So yeah, anyway, big up to footy judge Mo, man. Guys, make sure to smash the like button, make sure you're subscribing, man. If you haven't subscribed, just subscribe to the channel, man. I'm on the road to 3K, man. Get me to 3K, guys. Come on, let's go. Right, midfield. It's gonna be a midfield three. So I'm gonna go personally. I don't know whether it's shameless, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'd actually go with all three of my midfielders. But do you want to get somebody in the midfield?
Nah, I agree with you. There's no one that I can really argue for. Nah, I can't even argue for Manu really.
The only reason why Manu doesn't get in is because he hasn't played a lot
Yeah.
of game time.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah,
But
he would be my pick, but other than that, I don't think Ugarte and Casemiro haven't been exceptionally better than either of your midfielders. So yeah, I think
Thomas
that's fine.
Partey, for me, Thomas
Thomas
Partey
Partey is like, I
and
would say, is the best
Erdegaard,
one out of all of them. Yeah,
yeah. For me, Thomas Partey and Erdegaard would definitely get into this midfield. It's just about
100%.
the Rice thing because I think Rice has been a tad bit underwhelming this season. 100%. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Rice hasn't been at his best this season. You've seen it. A lot of people have seen it, but
It's just like
um,
it's a little tough because like I have like I've seen some of these players under Ten Hag who played completely different, and then now I'm seeing some of these players under Ruben Amorim who have been playing better. So it's like it's a little tough decision for me to make. Like I can't pick a player just based off of 2 games, 2 Premier League games. So I have to kind of counter the rest of the season too. That's why,
what's
like,
up,
as
bro?
much as I would want to put Ugarte and Casemiro, even though I thought that they've played well in these 2 games, I can't because they've only looked good under Amorim so far. They haven't really looked that good under Ten Hag, and we've played, I think, more than 10 games under him. So, yeah, that's just really where I'm at. So yeah, your
Mm,
midfield, yeah, it can take
yeah,
over. Honestly, yeah,
and then attack. So we go Saka obviously on the right.
yeah,
That's his position, guaranteed. Um, we can put Ahmad Diallo. Listen, the thing is, what I've said about Ahmad Diallo is, listen, I stand by what I said before.
what would
And
you say?
when no, I just said that he plays like a very inexperienced player, bro. And I
Okay,
was in agreement with Mo. I feel like under Ten Hag, he definitely did look like an inexperienced player. He would take too long to make passes. This is the thing. I said he'd take too long to make passes. His decision making wasn't the best. But definitely since I've seen him under Amorim, I've seen him start to, really get into his decision making bag, if you want to say,
yeah,
where he's definitely making better decisions now and being able to really stamp his authority in games. Which, listen, maybe it just needed a change of manager for me to see what all of the Man United fans were hyping about, because I couldn't really see what all the Man United fans were hyping about, to be
yeah.
honest. All I saw was a goal against Manchester City in the FA Cup, or was it Liverpool? No, it
Liverpool,
was Liverpool. All I saw was a goal against Liverpool in the FA Cup,
yeah,
where you lot kicked them out. So I just, anytime I watched him in the Premier League, it didn't really. I know he's young. I know Cali, he's young, but the thing is, I look at it as, if you're hyping up a player, because I'm hearing people saying like he can compete with some of the best young talents here and here. He just needs game time, and I'm like, okay, but you still need to show something. Even with limited game time, Mainu, even with the limited game time that he got at the start, like, you could see straight away this guy is special. You
yeah.
could see that he. That's why they. That's why before he was even a full time starter, they were starting talks to give him a brand new contract, upgraded deal, hella money, bro, because they know that he's a baller, bro.
He's a baller, yeah,
So that's the thing. I didn't really see that fully with Amad Diallo. But listen, this season since Amorim's come in these last 4 games, man, he's been doing a madness. So
yeah.
let's see if he can continue it. But I'll give you the left side for Amad Diallo if you want to put him in there. The striker, you don't
It's
want
none of
to.
mine. It's none of mine. Who? Who
Hey,
would I argue for?
I don't
It's none
even
of
know, bro.
mine. There's I think all
Bro, Schick's
bar
the best.
Jesus. I really don't think we're gonna put Jesus. I don't think you were gonna put Jesus anyways. So
Oh
if we take away
hell
Jesus,
no, bro! I'm taking Garnacho over Jesus, bro. What are we doing here, bro?
Yeah, I'm taking Jesus over Garnacho.
Right?
That's just me.
Look at your
That's just
face.
me, though.
Your
That's
face.
just
You're
me.
looking at me. Are you crazy, bro? Are you okay? Are you on drugs right now, bro? But bro, like I'm done with Jesus, bro. Like the relationship is fully like sour now.
Yeah,
It's
there's
got
no going back. Yeah, there's no going back.
yeah, bro. It's
It's the
like
same thing with Garnacho for me, bro. I'm done with
yeah,
him.
it's
But yeah,
just like
strikers, bro. There's no one like no. I Rashford. No, he's not even a striker really.
yeah. So
Xerxes scored like other than Sunday, Xerxes had 1 goal all season.
mm,
Hoyland, like he barely has played like that to be honest. Like even under Amorim, he hasn't played a Premier League game under Amorim. I don't think
so we
he.
going with the
Yeah,
so
We'll
what you
go with
said?
yours, King Kai, I
So
guess.
yes. Let
We'd
me
have to
just
go with
hold on a minute.
King Kai.
Hold on a minute. You can't just say King Kai like that, bro. You gotta play the video clip, bro. Be shameless. Inshallah. That's what I'm trying to see tomorrow, man. Trying to see that tomorrow. But yeah, we'll go Kai Havertz at striker. Um, and then last but not least, before we get to that, by the way, I just want you to let us know. Obviously Tom's put this in. Do you agree with this? I don't think Menu has the recovery pace to thrive in a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1. Do you agree with that?
Depends on where you play him. That's what I would say. I
Yeah,
agree
I
with you.
disagree as well. In
I
a way.
agree with you if you play him in a pivot, but I think we should play him in a 10 because I think he can play as like a 10, like an advancing 10. So if he's playing as a 10, then he has no like we don't have to worry about recovery pace if he's playing in a 10 because he's just gonna be up high up the pitch. But if he does play as like one of the pivots, like with Ugarte and Casemiro, then yeah, I hear you. I do agree with you. I don't think he as of now has the recovery pace to thrive in this system. But who's to know? Like if he plays um 6 to 7 months in that pivot under Ruben Amorim, who's to know that he might not improve his game? Because that's also something that we have to look at. This is not the finished product for Menu. Like I'm looking to see him improve as a player as well. And I said that at the start of this season too. Like Menu had a great season last year, but now it's you take a next step. I don't think Arsenal
Mm.
fans were okay with whatever Saka was producing in his first 2 years. They wanted to see him make a jump, and he made that jump. And that's what you want to see from these so-called talents that we say are and these like these world-class talents that might turn out to be. So if Mainu is going to turn out to be a world-class talent, we have to start seeing world-class ability sooner or later, and that's what I'm asking from him.
So would you
But
would
yeah,
you
go on.
play him? Obviously, you got the 3-4-3. You got your three centre backs, and then you got the four with the double pivot in the middle. So
Yeah,
you're saying to play him. So Bruno, obviously, in that right attacking mid spot, and then probably play him on the left
yeah,
attacking mid spot, and then you
yeah,
got obviously Rashford or whoever the striker is going to be up top. So that's
yeah,
that's like the position that you're looking to, or you'd want him to play in.
yeah. So I look
Because I
at
can,
it.
I can, I can kind of see that. I kind
Yeah,
of see that. He's definitely
I was asking for Manu to be more high up the pitch last season under Ten Hag because from what I saw from him in terms of what he did playing in that 6 or in the 8 role, I think it was enough for me in terms of convincing that he could try to take on that 10 role. So I've this is something that I wanted to see from Manu, and I think this will help out his game as well in terms of like moving forward. But at the same time, I think it'll become like a situational thing. It'll also be a thing where he's going to look at the opposition that we're playing and he's going to make decisions there. So we might see Menu in a pivot based off of like in game, like around the 60th minute, 70 minute. If he makes a change, he might put Menu there. I don't think it's something that he'll start off with. Like he'll start Menu in that position right away. We might see Menu in a 10, depending if we're playing like lower sides or if Bruno is injured or if Rashford is injured or someone like that, then we might see him play in that situation. Bro, if it was up to me, I would drop Bruno and I'd play him there if it was up to me. But we know that's not going to happen. Bruno is one of the higher owners of the club at the club. Currently, he just signed a new
yeah.
contract like a year ago, so that's not going to happen. He's the United captain, all of that type of stuff. But hopefully, I see him slowly get phased out. But yeah, other than that, like Mainu, he should, like, back to that comment, he can thrive in a 10, but I don't think currently he would thrive in that, in like a pivot in that 3-4-3 position. So
Okay. Right. Let's go score predictions. You go first, my broski. What are
yeah,
your score predictions for this
I
one?
say 1-1. I was stuck between 1-1 and 2-2 because our games always, like, at least of recent times, we've had goals. Like
Go
last year
first.
we had 3. I think we scored, it was 2-1. The year before that we had 5 in that game.
Mm,
And then the year before that, I don't really remember. But you guys have also, another thing is that you guys have been beating us at the Emirates Stadium for a while now. I don't think
mm.
the last time we probably won there was under Ollie, and I think that was in the FA Cup, if I'm not wrong. I don't think we've won after that. We
The
didn't win
only the only
under.
one that was like a one goal affair that I can remember is when we went away,
Yeah,
the robbery at Old Trafford,
I
because
get what you're talking about. Yeah,
Martin Odegaard did not foul Ericsson. But anyway, let's not get into that
yeah,
because we're gonna.
but
We're,
yeah, yeah. So it's been a while since we've actually gotten a result at the Emirates. So with that being said, like, I think a loss is definitely there, but I won't predict for us to lose. So I'll say 1-1. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
okay.
1-1.
Um, like I said to you, man, I'm fairly confident, and I think it's actually going to be a fairly comfortable game for us.
Yeah, I
I'm
think.
gonna go with
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with 3-1. I do still think we'll concede because I do think that I think we score maybe one goal or two goals in the first half, and I think we go into into half time, and then we come out in the second half, and we're facing some pressure in that second half. That's where you get your one goal to make it 2-1, and it's going to be a little cagey affair for a bit.
you just
And
kill
then
it off.
and I think we'll get control, and then we kill off the game by scoring that third goal to make it 3-1. That's how I think the game's going to go now. In my personal opinion, but that's how I see it going. So I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable 3-1 in my personal opinion. But
Fair enough. Yeah, I think Arsenal
anyway,
fans should be confident for this game too, to be honest. Like, this is
yeah.
still a very early Ruben Amorim Manchester United side. Like, I get the occasion, and people are always going to be like, "Oh, but it's Man United. You have to treat it as that game." Yeah, I get it. I think that's how we're treating it too. But we know the reality of it, and Arsenal fans also know the reality of. The reality is that you guys are far better than us currently at this moment. So you should beat us. You should beat
Yeah.
us. Yeah,
If
that's just what
we
it is.
don't beat you, first of all, the season's over, and then if we don't beat you, it's a disgrace because your team is in like transition right now of the
Yeah.
manager just coming in, and you know what I mean the team's still learning, bro.
And this is
Let's
his
be honest.
biggest game too so far. This is his
Yeah.
big first game as well. So it's like, who's to know how it's gonna go for us as well? So it's like
Mm.
you're looking at us, and I wouldn't say that we look weak, but we look what's the right word for it? Yeah, I wouldn't say like we look weak, but we look like a team that you could still capitalize on currently because we're not the finished
Yeah.
product yet.
If you
We're not the
give
finished product yet.
if you give us the chances that you gave to Everton,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro, that game goes horribly wrong.
True.
Do you know what I mean? So
True.
it's definitely something that can go wrong. But
Yeah.
anyway, listen, Shik, I want to thank you for coming through, my broski. This was a brilliant one, man. An
Thank
hour and
you,
a half,
bro.
man.
Thank
We
you.
really sat here and yeah, Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah. Did Staffy just raid?
Look at that, man. The raids are
Oh
just
my
coming through. Big up to
god.
Staffy.
Oh no, he didn't. Or did he raid? Yeah, Staffy. Yeah, Staffy. I was about to raid to you, bro. Now who did, bro? I was just about to raid to Staffy, bro, and then he raids to me, bro. Yeah, big up to Staffy for the raid, man. But I was gonna raid to Staffy, bro. God damn right. Who is American in this chat that I can just raid to, bro? And guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button. Smash. You have to smash it. Guys, we're only on 55 likes. Wallah, I have some shame. We got 154 people in here. We're on 55 likes, bro. Can you guys just like it? At least like it and get me to like at least 100 likes, bro. Come on,
Oh yeah,
guys.
Flawless is live. You could rate
Please.
Flawless. I
Told us
think
to put Sard hype.
he's live with Vader, I think, right now for the
Flawless, yeah.
City show. Yeah.
Love to see it, man. We love to see it. We're gonna send them over to Well, I have some shame to you, bro. It's crazy, man. Nobody wants to have shame now, bro. We're sitting here on 55 likes, bro, with 150 people here. Come on, man. What's going on? Um, right. Let me just change this. Where's flawless? There we go. Big up flawless. Right, guys. I'm gonna send you over to flawless. What I want you to guys to do also is go into the description right now. Go into the description right now and subscribe to Shik. Shik's channel is in the description. Big up to Phineas who drops a last minute super chat saying like the stream. Come on, you guys, like the stream. Do as Phineas says right here and like the damn stream, people. Make sure to get that done. Big up Phineas. Big up everybody who's tuned in, man. Absolute legends. I want you guys to type in 3-1 Arsenal. Just do that. Just type that in. Yeah. Let's piss off. Let's piss off man like flawless, man. Let's piss him off. Guys, love you and leave you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Love for the love. Peace.